Meet Cleopatra, the last pharaoh of ancient Egypt, whose life was marked by intrigue, politics, and romance. Born into a dynasty of Greek rulers, Cleopatra's rise to power was swift and strategic. But at what cost? Dive into her fascinating story of love, war, and empire. In the land of the pharaohs, where the Nile River flows and the pyramids touch the sky, a legendary queen once ruled with cunning and charm. Her name was Cleopatra, the last pharaoh of ancient Egypt, and her story has captivated the world for centuries. Born into a dynasty of Greek rulers, Cleopatra's life was marked by intrigue, politics, and romance, as she navigated the treacherous waters of ancient Egypt and the Roman Empire. Cleopatra was born in 69 BCE in Alexandria, Egypt, to Ptolemy XII Auletes, a Greek ruler of the Ptolemaic dynasty. Her family was known for their diplomatic marriages and brutal power struggles, which often led to the downfall of their own relatives. Cleopatra's father, Ptolemy XII, was a ruthless leader who had his own brother and sister killed to secure his position on the throne. As a child, Cleopatra received a thorough education in mathematics, astronomy, and philosophy, preparing her for a life of politics and diplomacy. She was a skilled linguist, speaking multiple languages, including Egyptian, Greek, and Latin, which would serve her well in her future dealings with foreign leaders. Cleopatra's education was overseen by the best tutors in Alexandria, who instilled in her a love of learning and a strong sense of ambition. In 51 BCE, Cleopatra ascended to the throne alongside her brother Ptolemy XIII, following the death of their father. However, their relationship was complicated, with Ptolemy XIII becoming increasingly jealous of Cleopatra's growing influence. The two siblings were married, as was the custom in ancient Egypt, but their relationship was far from harmonious. Cleopatra's intelligence and charisma soon made her the dominant force in the kingdom, much to Ptolemy XII's dismay. In 48 BCE, Julius Caesar arrived in Egypt, seeking to expand the Roman Empire. Cleopatra, aware of Caesar's intentions, formed an alliance with him, offering Egypt's wealth and resources in exchange for his support against her brother. The two reportedly fell in love, with Caesar becoming a key ally in Cleopatra's quest for power. Their relationship was seen as scandalous by many, but it secured Egypt's position as a major player in the Mediterranean. Cleopatra's meeting with Julius Caesar was a masterclass in diplomacy and seduction. She famously sailed up the Nile River to meet Caesar, arriving in a golden barge, a accompanied by her loyal attendants. The two leaders quickly formed a close bond, with Caesar becoming enamored of Cleopatra's intelligence and charm. Their relationship was not without controversy, however, as many Romans saw Cleopatra as a seductress and a manipulator. In 47 BCE, Cleopatra and Caesar's forces clashed with Ptolemy XII's army in the Battle of the Nile. The outcome was decisive, with Ptolemy 13 killed in the battle. Cleopatra's victory was a significant turning point in her reign, as she emerged as the undisputed ruler of Egypt. Her relationship with Caesar was solidified, and she became a key ally in his quest for power in the Roman Empire. Cleopatra's return to Alexandria was a triumphal procession, with her people hailing her as a hero. She was now the undisputed ruler of Egypt, with Caesar's support and protection. However, her reign was not without challenges, as she faced opposition from her own people and the Roman Empire. However, their relationship was short-lived. In 44 BCE, Julius Caesar was assassinated by his own senators, leaving Egypt and the Roman Empire in chaos. Cleopatra was devastated by Caesar's death, but she quickly regrouped and formed an alliance with Mark Antony, one of Caesar's closest allies. Enter Mark Antony, a Roman general and one of Caesar's closest allies. Cleopatra formed another alliance with Antony, who would become her lover and closest advisor. The two leaders were well matched, with Antony's military prowess complementing Cleopatra's diplomatic skills. Together, they defeated Caesar's assassins in the Battle of Philippi, but their victory was short-lived. The Battle of Philippi was a decisive victory for Cleopatra and Antony, but it came at a great cost. The Roman Empire was plunged into civil war, with Antony and Cleopatra facing off against Octavian, later known as Augustus Caesar. The two leaders were well matched, but Octavian's superior tactics and resources eventually won out. In 31 BCE, Octavian launched a campaign against Antony and Cleopatra. The Battle of Actium was a disaster for the Egyptian fleet, with numerous ships sinking or fleeing. Cleopatra's military advisors urged her to retreat and regroup, but Antony was determined to fight on. The outcome was a crushing defeat for the Egyptian forces, with many troops deserting or fleeing in panic. Cleopatra's return to Alexandria was somber, as she realized her kingdom was on the brink of collapse. She had one final trick up her sleeve, however, an attempt to negotiate a peace treaty with Octavian. But Octavian was determined to conquer Egypt and add it to the Roman Empire. In 30 BCE, Octavian's forces invaded Egypt, and the city of Alexandria was put under siege. Cleopatra, realizing that her kingdom was lost, prepared for the worst. She had one final act of defiance, as she attempted to rally her people and fight back against the Roman invaders. However, it was too late, and Octavian's forces soon breached the walls of Alexandria. The Roman conquest of Egypt marked the end of the Ptolemaic dynasty and the beginning of the Roman Empire's dominance over the region. Cleopatra, who had ruled Egypt for over 20 years, was now at the mercy of the Roman Empire. She would eventually take her own life, rather than submit to the Roman Empire's demands. On August 12, 30 BCE, Cleopatra VII, the last pharaoh of ancient Egypt, took her own life, rather than submit to the Roman Empire. According to legend, she died by allowing a poisonous asp to bite her, a symbol of her royal power and her refusal to be captured. Mark Antony, her lover and ally, had taken his own life just days before, and Cleopatra was determined to join him in death, rather than face the humiliation of defeat. Cleopatra's tomb was never found, and her final resting place remains a mystery to this day. However, Her legacy lives on as a symbol of female power and determination in a male-dominated world. She was a true leader, a skilled diplomat, and a passionate lover who left an indelible mark on the ancient world. Cleopatra's story is a testament to the enduring power of human spirit and the ability of one person to shape the course of history. She was a queen, a leader, and a legend who will continue to inspire and fascinate us for generations to come. The life and reign of Cleopatra, a story of power, passion, and politics in ancient Egypt.